Hey guys, it's Angelo. Today I'm going to show you what we eat on the carnivore diet. As you probably know by now, after over 3 years of keto, we've been doing a mostly carnivore ketogenic diet ever since first trying it out in February. We stuck to it because we love eating this way taste-wise and because shopping and cooking is even simpler and easier now and no food ever gets wasted, which is not the case when you buy a lot of vegetables which easily get moldy. We noticed our digestion works even better without fiber, we're stronger in the gym, we are in the best shape of our lives without counting calories, which can be necessary on a quote-unquote normal keto diet, which includes a lot of keto desserts and nuts. Anyway, I separated the video into 5 sections: meats and fish, other animal products, fats, spices and extras, and drinks. Let's get started. Let's start with meat and fish. If I had to choose one food item to live off on carnivore every single day, it would be 20% fat freshly ground beef. Make sure you get it freshly ground from a butcher and not in those pre-sealed packages that last several days. It should run out the same day, so freeze it if you buy in bulk, and that's what we usually do. We buy big packages and then we freeze it in 500 grams to 1 kilogram packages and then defreeze it before using it. Then we form it into patties with a burger press and we pan fry it with some tallow or some butter. It comes out so good every single time. We sometimes also get some cheaper steak cuts. Not all the time, but when they're on offer somewhere, get some cheaper steak cuts. Sometimes it's a ribeye, sometimes it's something else. And we make this in the air fryer with just some sea salt. Then we also like some ground lamb. This is actually ground grass-fed lamb from New Zealand, which is surprisingly cheaper than buying local Austrian lamb, which is not grass-fed. So this is the one that we get frozen. Since a friend of ours is a hunter, he sometimes calls us when he shoots a venison or deer, and he brings us a couple of kilograms of delicious venison meat. And so we sometimes also have some venison meat. We also had a venison liver recently that was by far the best liver we ever had. And yeah, here we still have some leftover venison. We usually also have some pork shoulder at home. So here we have a 1 kilogram package of pork shoulder, which we prepare in the instant pot under high pressure for 75 to 80 minutes and make some delicious pulled pork out of it. We usually also have some pork loin at home, which we use to make some delicious saltimbocca. You can check out the recipe above if you're interested. And of course, some bacon. We just get the one that's on discount. We know a couple that taste really good. This is one of them. And when they have bigger discounts, we buy in bulk. Okay, moving on to the fish. We always have some canned sardines at home. We either get the ones in water or in olive oil. And if you don't tolerate olive oil well, then make sure you get the ones in water. For us, the olive oil ones are fine. These are a great source of omega-3 fats. And these come with the bones and everything, so you get a ton of nutrients. And we tend to also have some frozen wild salmon at home. This one is not as pretty color-wise. We usually get it from another store, but this is the one we have at home right now. Then we also always have some canned mackerel in water as well at home. Another great source of fish and omega-3 fats. And some canned tuna. I think this is bluefin tuna, which we also really enjoy. I forgot to mention that we also enjoy some chicken wings wrapped in bacon from time to time. We make these in the air fryer. And we do also really like eating liver at least once a week for extra nutrients. We really like chicken liver, as it's less intense in that really strong livery flavor that many people don't like. And we just make it really simply with some bacon and some butter. And the recipe is gonna follow soon on that. Okay, let's move on to other animal products. So we always have some free-range eggs at home. And either we make some eggs and bacon, mix them with ground beef, or use them for some other recipes. Eggs always come in handy and they're full of nutrients. And here the free range really makes a big difference. And you can certainly also include cheese on a carnivore diet. We stick to goat, sheep, and buffalo milk cheese, as we tolerate those way better than quote-unquote normal dairy milk cheeses. We still don't eat cheese too often, as we noticed that it makes us hold on to a little bit more weight than if we go without cheese. So if your weight loss is stalling on carnivore or keto, then try going without cheese for a while and see if that helps. And you should definitely try bacon wrapped feta if you haven't already. It's so good. Okay, moving on to fat sources. So apart from the fats on the meat, you like to use some grass-fed butter, either Kerrygold, or actually, if it's available, we get like a cheaper clone. This is called Golden Hills, it's basically the same as Kerrygold and it's half price here, so we stock up on that usually. We also always have some grass-fed beef tallow at home, and we make this ourselves. We use this whenever we make burger patties or a steak in a pan, and it's actually very simple to render your own beef tallow from beef fat, and I'll show you in a video soon. You can probably get grass-fed beef fat very cheaply if you ask around. We pay like €3 for 1 kilogram of grass-fed beef fat. And it's worth getting grass-fed in this case, as the omega-3 to omega-6 fat ratio is way better and it's already so cheap, so it's definitely worth it. If you don't tolerate butter well, try making your own ghee or clarified butter. In ghee, almost all of the milk protein and lactose is removed, so a lot of people who can't tolerate butter do perfectly fine on ghee, so definitely give it a shot, especially since it's inexpensive if you make it yourself at home, and it's very easy to prepare. And it's a great fat source. Next we have spices and extras. On some of our meats we only use sea salt, for example on burger patties or on steak. Just sea salt, nothing else, the meat has enough flavor itself already, you don't need much more. Next we also always have some herbs de Provence at home, and we like to add these to lamb, as lamb has a more intense flavor and these tend to go really well with that. And when we pressure cook or slow cook some venison meat, we also really like to use some dried rosemary, as well as thyme, as they go really well with the venison flavor. And we also add a little bit of fish sauce. Yes, you heard it correctly, fish sauce. That's our secret ingredient. This seems to make any pressure or slow cooked cut of red meat tastier. So definitely give it a shot if you have no fish sauce at home. You can also make sauces more flavorful. It's a really great trick. When we make pulled pork in the Instant Pot, so in the pressure cooker, we also always add some fish sauce, as well as a little bit of garlic, which we store frozen as it's just more convenient for us, as we don't use it that often. And we also add a little bit of bacon. When we prepare liver once or twice a week, we like to also add a couple of diced onions, and we also buy these frozen as it's more convenient for us, as well as some butter and bacon. And when we make saltimbocca, we do also use some black pepper, some fresh sage leaves, as well as some olive oil and a tiny bit of white wine when cooking for extra flavor. So these are some of the exceptions that we make every once in a while, as we seem to tolerate these just fine. But if you're doing carnivore because of autoimmune issues, you should try to stick to mostly sea salt, at least for the first 30 days. And then after that, you can try to reintroduce some things like onions and garlic and see how you react to those. Lastly, we have drinks. We're very lucky to have some of the best tap water in the world here in Austria. So that's what we drink 99% of the time. And whenever we travel somewhere else, we miss our fresh, cold tap water from Vienna. And if we feel like we want to have something special every once in a while, we'll have a glass of sparkling water with some extra minerals. And when we're out with friends, sparkling water with a little bit of squeezed lemon is our alcohol replacement, as we both don't drink. Next, we have coffee, which is a very controversial topic on the carnivore diet. We still enjoy drinking 1 to 2 cups of freshly brewed coffee per day before lunch. And we make ours in a little mocha pot. We used to make it in a French press, but we noticed that it's even simpler for us to make it in a mocha pot, and we still enjoy the flavor just as much, and it fits better into our minimalist lifestyle. And we also noticed that we consume less coffee overall since doing that. And we also sometimes like to have some decaf as well, if it's after lunchtime and we still crave for some coffee flavor. If we do want to treat every once in a while, we do also enjoy adding in a scoop of perfect Keto Collagen vanilla or chocolate, together with some black coffee and some butter, and blend it up. It's really good. We also tend to always have some tea at home. This is a mix of yerba mate and green tea. We sometimes also have some Earl Grey tea, some peppermint tea, and Jofi also enjoys some fruit tea every once in a while. Okay, so that's it.
There you have it. These are our keto carnivore staples right now. Before you take off, I would love to know, is there anything that you really enjoy on a regular basis and that we could maybe try out as well? And have you ever experimented with the carnivore diet, and what was your experience? We would love to know in the comments below.
Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe if you want to see more. See you soon. Bye.